Like, hello everybody. Today is our first class in half yearly of moral studies. So, as you all know that until chapter 2 we finished in our first monthly session, and now in our half yearly we will start with a new chapter, and that is chapter 3. Can you see that? Chapter 3, and the name of this chapter, it is loving nature. All right, so we can already assume, or we can already understand the chapter we will be about, or we will be learning about nature. Okay, that how loving nature is towards us. Okay, so we will learn it from this chapter. We can assume that by reading the chapter name. And it's a poem on daffodils. So do you know what daffodil is? It's a flower. We all know, right, that daffodil is a flower. It's kind of a yellow flower that you will find, and usually in those countries like in England. England is one of those countries where you will find daffodil. Okay, and it's a very beautiful flower. They are usually small in size, and the flower is yellow, and it's really beautiful. So this is a poem on daffodil flowers. So what we will learn from this chapter? Let's read. We will learn that the beauty of nature can fill us with joy and give us comfort. Okay, so whenever we will be looking at our nature, when we will go close to our nature, what we will find? We will find the beauty, the enormous beauty of nature. Okay, when we are always busy with our daily works or our daily life, we usually go close to nature. But when we do this, when we go close to nature, we get mesmerized by the beauty of nature. So nature can fill us with joy and give us comfort. So whenever we go close to nature, it gives us comfort that we don't get in our concrete life, in our usual daily life. Okay, because nature is so beautiful, it mesmerizes us and it gives us comfort, it soothes our mind. Okay, and it gives us joy that we don't get from anywhere else, that we get from nature. It is so beautiful that we get mesmerized. Okay, we feel comfortable going close to nature. That nature can dispel our worries and ease our pain. So if we have worries in us, if we have pain in us, and we go close to nature, we enjoy the beauty of nature, it will soothe us. Okay, it will ease our pain, it will reduce our pain, and it will make us feel comfortable, it will make us feel happy. Okay, even if we were sad before going close to nature, it will reduce our worries. This is the beauty and this is the strength of nature, that it can ease our pain by its beauty. We must value nature and always be sensitive to it. So we should not take nature for granted. Okay, rather we should appreciate it, we should value it, we should take care of it, we should be responsible about our nature. We should be really careful and responsible that we do not destroy our nature, which is soothing our pain, which is giving us so much comfort, which is giving us such peace. So rather, what we should do in return towards our nature, we should be really careful, we should be really responsible about our nature. We should not destroy our nature, we should not do such thing that can harm our nature. So we all should be really careful about our nature. So this is a picture. Can you see that? This is a picture, and look at it and think of 5 adjectives that the beauty of nature brings to your mind. So it's your task. You do it on your own. That you think of 5 adjectives. Okay, 5 qualities that the beauty of nature brings to your mind. Okay. So it's your own task. Okay, now let's move towards this poem. Page number 16. So, the name of the poem is Daffodils, that we all know, and the name of the poet who wrote this poem, he is William Wordsworth. He is really a very famous poet, and he has written very enormous poems he has written in his life, and this is a very famous and very beautiful creation of all his creations. Okay, and in the bottom you will find some word meanings. There are some word meanings that you might find difficult. Okay, that in here you will find the meanings of those words, like glee. The meaning is great joy. Pensive means thoughtful. Bliss means joy. Solitude means being alone. Okay, so let's start reading the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. So the poet is describing his state of mind. So the poet is saying that I wandered lonely as a cloud. So do you understand wander? That means just roaming around. Okay, wandering means roaming around. So I wandered lonely as a cloud. So he is describing him as a cloud. Okay, so he is saying that he is as lonely as a cloud, and he was just roaming around like a cloud does. So whenever we look at sky, we find that the clouds are moving around, roaming around, and there is no such direction, that there is no destination, or there is no specific direction that they are heading to. Rather, they are just moving around or roaming around. So the poet is describing himself as a lonely cloud who is just wandering. Okay, that floats on high over vales and hills. So the clouds, they actually float over the vales and hills. So they are so high that they are over the hills. So he is feeling himself like a lonely cloud. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. So when he was just wandering as a lonely cloud, all of a sudden he found some daffodils. It was a crowd of daffodils. Like here you can see daffodil flowers. So he just saw a crowd of some daffodil flowers beside the lake, beneath the trees. So these flowers, where were they? They were beside a lake and under a tree, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So what were they doing? They were like dancing in the breeze, and they are fluttering. They were fluttering. Fluttering means like kind of flying unsteadily. Okay, so that is fluttering. So when he was wandering as a lonely cloud over the hills, all of a sudden he found that a crowd of daffodil flowers beside the lake, under the tree, and they were kind of dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. So he's saying that the beauty of daffodil flowers attracted him so much that he found these daffodil flowers like the shining stars. So whenever we look at the sky at night, we see that the stars are shining. They are so glowing that they are shining. So the poet, he is finding these daffodil flowers as the shining stars in the sky. Like the stars twinkle on the Milky Way, like that, like those stars, these daffodil flowers, they are also shining. And they are in a never-ending line. There are so many flowers at a stretch that he is describing that they stretch in never-ending line. That means there were many flowers along with the margin of a bay. So they were beside the lake in a line, one by one. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in a sprightly dance. So he is saying that at one glance, he could see 10,000 daffodil flowers who were tossing their heads in the breeze, and it seemed like they were just 10,000 stars shining and twinkling on the Milky Way, and he is looking from the earth. They were so shining, they were so beautiful, okay, and there were so many in number. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. So as they were beside the lake, there were waves in the lake, and the waves were also dancing. But the dance and the tossing and the fluttering of these daffodil flowers, they actually surpassed the beauty of the waves of the lake. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. So if a poet looks at such a beautiful view, if a poet looks at such a beautiful part of nature, they will be careless, they will be carefree, okay, they will be not able to control themselves. But looking at such mesmerizing view, in such cheerful company of daffodil flowers, I gazed and gazed, but little thought what well the show to me had brought. So he just kept gazing. Okay, he could not take his eyes away. He was just looking at this view, looking at these beautiful daffodil flowers who were tossing their heads beside the lake, and which seemed like the shining stars to him, and they were 10,000 daffodil flowers. So he just could not help but looking at all these beautiful flowers. For oft, when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, there flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude. So whenever he is just lying on the couch, he is sitting idle, if he is thinking something or not, he just keeps remembering this beautiful view in his mind. He just could not forget this view in his life. It was so beautiful to look at. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So whenever he remembers this view, he remembers this scenario, his heart dances with the joy of daffodils. Like the daffodils danced in the breeze, they tossed their heads in the breeze. Like this, his heart also dances with joy whenever he remembers this scenario in his mind. No matter if he is thinking something, or his mind is empty or vacant, or he is sitting idle on the couch, he remembers this scenario and he feels so happy in his mind. So this is the meaning or explanation of this poem. I hope you all have understood it. Now let's go to the next page, that is page number 17, and you will find some statements. Okay, now let's see if they are true or false. Number 1, the poet was laughing and chatting with friends when he saw the daffodils. Is it true? Was he chatting and laughing with his friends? No, he was alone. He was lonely as a cloud. That means it is false. It's not true. Number 2, the poet just saw a few daffodils. No, there were 10,000 daffodils, and it seemed the shining stars from the Milky Way. There were so many in number that he could see 10,000 daffodils at one glance only. Okay, that means there were so many in number. So they were not few. So it's not correct, it's false. The sight of the flowers did not have any effect on the poet. It is also false. He was greatly affected by the beauty of the daffodil flowers, and he kept remembering this view in future, and he felt happy by thinking about these daffodil flowers. That means it is also false. Number 4, the poet forgot about the daffodils later. No, this is also false, because he remembered, and he was very happy by remembering this beautiful view of daffodil flowers. That means he did not forget this view. Number 5. So this was false again. Number 5, seeing the daffodil, the poet's heart filled with joy. Yes, this is the truth. Seeing the daffodils, his heart actually filled with joy, and this is true. Now we are done with the statements. Now let's move towards this part. Time to understand, okay? Nature plays the role of provider in our lives. So in our life, nature has a great role to play, and that is nature is the provider, and we are the part who takes it. Nature gives us and we takes it. So this is why nature is the provider in our life. That's the role of nature. That nature always gives and we always take. We depend on nature for our food, clothes, shelter, for many other needs. So we even don't even know that in how many ways we are dependent on nature. Like to live, we need to breathe, and from where we get the oxygen? From nature. For our food, we depend on nature. For our shelter, for our clothes, everything, and some things that we don't even know, we don't even have any idea that for these things we depend on nature. But it is not enough to think of nature just in terms of what it gives us. Okay. So it's not enough to think that. So it's not that the nature gives us only. We get things from nature for our need. We are dependent on nature. So it's not a proper way to picturize nature in our mind that it gives us only. Okay, and it is not enough that what nature gives us. We should sometimes stop to marvel at its beauty. So we should not be just dependent on nature for our needs, but rather sometimes we should take out some time from our busy schedule, and we should enjoy the beauty of nature, and we should get mesmerized and marveled by the enormous beauty of nature. So we should not only be dependent on nature for our necessities only, rather we should spend some time for enjoying the beauty of nature. It is nature that makes the world a beautiful place to live in. So nature does not only gives us the food, shelter, and many other things that we don't know. Rather, it is nature that makes the world, makes the universe very beautiful, very soothing for us, and it makes this earth a better place, a beautiful place, a proper place to live in, and it is happening. It has happened all because of nature. The beauty of nature can fill us with a sense of joy. So if we enjoy the beauty of nature, this beauty of nature, it will fill our mind, it will fill our heart with joy and glee. Okay. It can heal all wounds that earlier disappointments and sorrows might have left in our hearts. So we all sometimes we have to go through some phase of our life when we feel really sad, we feel really upset, some bad things happen to us, and we cannot forget these incidents from our life, from that happened in our life, and we cannot erase this memory from our mind, and it actually bothers us, it disturbs us. We get disturbed by thinking all those bad incidents that happened in our life. But if you go close to nature, if you enjoy the beauty of nature, it will ease your pain, it will soothe your wound. Okay, it will heal your wound, it will make you feel better. If you go close to nature, if we take some time to go towards nature and enjoy its beauty, then you will feel better. Okay, it can soothe our mind by making worries and disturbing thoughts go away. So in which ways it can soothe our mind? It can soothe our mind by making worries and worries and those thoughts which make us feel disturbed, so it will erase those disturbing thoughts and those worries that which are bothering us. Okay, we must therefore occasionally pause in the midst of all our daily course to spend some time with nature. So usually we are always busy with our daily works, with our busy life in our concrete city. We are always stuck. We are always busy. But rather, what we should do sometimes, we should take some time out of our busy schedule and we should go close to nature and enjoy its beauty to make our heart and mind filled with joy and glee, to soothe our mind, to erase our disturbing thoughts and worries, and to make us a happy person and a happy individual rather than someone who's really sad and upset and frustrated. So it will remove our frustration. Okay, it will refresh our mind, the beauty of nature. So we all should do this. We should take some time out of our life, our busy schedule, and go towards the nature, close to the nature, to enjoy its beauty, to soothe our mind, to refresh our mind, to fill our heart with joy, to erase our pain and tiresome thoughts, worries, disturbing thoughts. Okay, for so it is also for our own betterment in a different way. It is also our duty to protect and preserve the beauty of nature. So it is also our duty that it is to protect and preserve the vast beauty of nature. So nature is giving us in so many ways, except of giving food, shelter, oxygen, and many other things that we don't know. It also gives us peace. It also soothes us mentally. So we are dependent on nature in so many ways. It's giving us in so many ways. So rather, what we should do in return towards nature, we should be very grateful towards nature, and we should be very thankful towards nature, and we should take care of nature. We should be responsible about nature so that we can enjoy its beauty. It remains as fresh forever, like this, and we should preserve its beauty. We should not destroy it, we should not waste it, and we should not be very much careless or carefree about our nature. Rather, we should be very careful about it so that it stays like this forever. If anyone destroys it, it will be a great loss to humankind. So if any person or if anyone who does not take care of our nature, who is not very responsible about our nature and rather destroys it in return after getting so much from our nature, if they destroy it, then it will be a great loss to mankind. Okay, I hope you all understood about it till now. So now let's read this part. So this part is about the poet William Wordsworth. So let's read about him. The poet William Wordsworth. Okay, he was born in 1770 and he died in 1850. And he was called the high priest of nature. So because of his creation, because of his attitude towards the nature, he was called the high priest of nature. His poems tell us about the beauty of nature and how nature can fill us with positive feelings. So what his poems tell us about? His poems tell us about the beauty of nature. So we just read one of his poems and we found out that how beautifully he has described the beauty of nature. And he also shares that how nature can fill us with positive feelings. Okay, how it can erase our negative thoughts, our frustrating, disturbing thoughts, our worries, our sadness, and how fills our heart and fills our mind with joy and happiness and glee and with positive feelings and positive thoughts. So it is happening. The nature is doing this to us. So we will see such descriptions in the poems of Wordsworth. The daffodil is the national flower of Wales. So I already said that you will find this flower in England usually. So I hope you understood till now, and now let's read the quotable quotes. Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair. So whenever we go on the earth, we step on the earth with our bare feet, the earth feels delighted. The earth is so happy that we go so close to our nature, to our earth. And the wind is really longing, the wind is really waiting to play with our hair. That means we should go close to our nature. We should go close to our earth. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the living greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. So here E. E. Cummings, he actually is thanking God. He thanking God for the amazing day that he has got from God and for the leaping greenly spirits of trees. Okay. So he is thanking God for the spirit, the greenly spirit of trees and the blue dreamy sky and for everything which is natural, which is infinite. So for this he is actually thanking God. So now go to page number 18 and here you will find a life skill question. Let's read. How will you take the help of nature in each of the following situations? Number one, you have somebody very ill at home. You are anxious and worried. So in this situation, how will you take help from the nature? You are feeling depressed about something, and in this situation how you will get help from the nature. Number three, you have so much work to do that you feel totally crushed, and in this situation how you will get help from the nature. You are feeling terribly angry and upset about how a friend spoke to you, and in this situation how you will get help from the nature. And number five, you miss a close friend who has gone to live in another city, and in this situation how you will take help from the nature. So these are some situations that has been described here as life skill questions, and you will write and you will explain as well that how you will get help from the nature in this kind of situations. So for today this is all. We'll meet in our next class. Thank you.